Let's go to Rwanda now. It's been a year since opposition leader and one-time presidential candidate Diane Rwigara was put behind bars. The long-term critic of the government has regularly and openly criticized President Paul Kagame. When she tried to stand as one of the candidates against him in last year's presidential elections, she was disqualified shortly after submitting her nomination.
A 37-year-old was arrested and accused of inciting insurrection and forgery. Her mother was also arrested. Well, since then, many of her supporters have kept underground for fear of retribution, they say. But now a campaign, #FreeDianeRwigara, has been started. Claude Gatebuke is Executive Director of African Great Lakes Action Network, and he joins us on the line from Nashville in the USA. Greetings to you. It's been a year.
Hello.
It's greetings. Thank you for joining us. It's been a year now since Miss Rwigara was put behind bars. Is it because of that year that you've now started this campaign, or what has prompted this open call for the government to release her?
Thank you for having me. The reason we have started the petition is because of the injustice happening to Diane Rwigara and many others. Another woman, Victoire Ingabire, was also arrested 7 years before for the same crime of running against President Kagame. And not only is it unjust, but the way her supporters are being treated. And today we are galvanized by the support. So we saw the support for Bobi Wine, another young political activist in Uganda who was arrested, and the whole world came together to show support and to put pressure on the dictatorship in Uganda to release Bobi Wine. And because of the similarities with Rwanda, and because especially the youth around the world and especially on the continent of Africa understand, and they're connected on social media, understand the importance of justice and freedom and fairness, we wanted to galvanize them, and
Claude,
so we ran in the petition.
Claude, if I can ask you, because as we know, Diane has been an outspoken critic for quite a long time. She's not just a Johnny come lately, some would argue, in the same way as Victoire Ingabire, as you said. What is it that has now made you, is it easier for you, though, being that you're in the United States, to speak out? Because we know that there are supporters of Diane who've been very reluctant to come forward. They even say, some of them, that they face persecution. Some even say they fear for their lives.
Absolutely. No doubt that the reason why I'm able to speak freely about the issues of Rwanda and about the case of Diane Rwigara and Victoire Ingabire is because I'm outside of Rwanda. There was a case, it just came out last week, a young woman who is made an appeal about her brother, who was a supporter of Diane Rwigara, who worked on her campaign, and he's been missing for a year. The government threatened the rest of the family, and they're in hiding now. So what you're saying is absolutely right. Those who criticize the government of Rwanda are safer outside of Rwanda, because the government of Rwanda also pursues critics outside of the country, and some have been murdered.
What would you say, though, to the fact that the government would say, look, we have to keep her behind bars because this is a woman who's incited insurrection. She openly criticizes not just the president, but the government as a whole. We can't have people like this rallying people to, as they say, insurrection.
If the government would admit that it's a totalitarian and a repressive government and a dictatorship, then it would be fair for them to say that. But this is a government that's presented as progressive, that promotes and empowers women. And so to turn around and say that a woman cannot criticize the government, criticizing the government is not inciting the population. And criticizing the government or opposing the president is not a crime by any means. Claude, so the government is incorrect.
Claude, thank you very much.